time is money. This is not a novel assertion in any way. Everyone here is familiar with it. However, it's likely that not all of us are aware of the formula for turning time into cash. Let this day's video of sound advice put your mind at ease. In this article, I will explain how to make time your financial ally. In other words, stick around. But before we get into that, if you like this video and want to see more, please subscribe. So, without further ado, let's dive in. In the first place, you should conduct a time audit. I don't know about you, but I often feel like the days are passing quickly. My day seems to fly by, and before I know it, it's time for bed, and I haven't even gotten through half of the things on my to-do list. If this sounds familiar, I'd like to suggest time auditing as an alternative to panicking or giving up on an activity out of pure laziness or the belief that you don't have enough time to devote to it. Keep track of how long it takes you to complete each task, even the most inconsequential ones like going to the bathroom or taking a break, and ask yourself if you could be doing it more quickly. In this way, you can see exactly where your time is going and make adjustments to your schedule accordingly. This is similar to time auditing. Find the new, more efficient time limit for a given task, then set a timer and get to work. To succeed, you must finish the assignment before the clock runs out of time. While this may seem overwhelming at first, it is important to be kind to yourself and acknowledge any temptations to procrastinate if you find yourself unable to complete a task. If you find yourself becoming anxious or overwhelmed, set a timer for a few minutes. And step away from the computer to collect your thoughts before returning to the task at hand. Develop your own self-control and put in lots of practice time. Put it to use making a list. It's amazing how something so simple can improve your life. As an example, in addition to finishing an article by 3 p.m., you could also write down the secondary goal of getting everything done today. If you want to get more done, it's a good idea to set smaller, more manageable goals for yourself along the way. Do some writing. Getting things crossed off your to-do list has been shown to give you a sense of accomplishment and satisfaction. As your to-do list grows, so does your motivation to get things done. Using a to-do list, timers, and other time tracking tools is a great way to get things done without getting sidetracked. Spending less time daydreaming means more time for work or saving money. It's the worst when I wake up in the morning and have no idea what to do. It's not that I lack options, rather, I lack motivation to get started on anything. If you're in the same boat as me and have ever encountered this issue, you know how frustrating it can be. It's possible that I've figured out how to fix it. I'm going to hazard a guess that it's some kind of pre-sleep preparation. Every night, I sit down with a notebook and write down everything on my to-do list for the following day. If I'm at the office, I take the first 10 minutes to make a list of everything I need to accomplish before I get started. Have a list ready before you start working, whether it's before bed or first thing in the morning. If you don't have time to plan the next day's activities when you go to bed, make it a habit to quickly jot down at least 5 extremely pressing things you need to accomplish first thing in the morning. Try this strategy out and let me know what you think in the comment section below. In particular, I want to hear your thoughts on the 5th point. Prioritize your most important work for the morning. If you have to eat a frog for breakfast, as Mark Twain advised, do it first thing in the morning. Even if you have to eat 2 frogs as part of your job. For the sake of honesty, you should eat the largest one first. At first, I was confused by this proverb. But now I do, and I'd like to tell you about it. In general, it's best to tackle the biggest jobs first. To begin, the morning is when you will find yourself both most active and least resistant. Taking advantage of this situation will help you get things done quickly. In addition, once you finish, you can relax and take it easy for the rest of the day. Tip number 6. Master the art of delegating. Knowing I can sit back and relax because I don't have to do anything is the greatest relief. It's okay if I need assistance. If there is an area in which you lack expertise, it is to your advantage to hire experts. It can even be for things you already know how to do but don't have time for. In this way, you'll not only save time but also hone a very important skill. To be able to delegate effectively is a valuable skill. This can get you far in life, especially if you also have a charming personality. Delegation is all you'll be doing when you're a multi-millionaire CEO of companies anyway. Getting sidetracked is so commonplace in the modern world that we've designated a day to eliminate half of our work. It's not that I especially want to give in to societal norms when I find myself in the midst of intense concentration. Every once in a while, we have to juggle our unanswered emails, messages, and to-do lists with our current workload. Most of the time, we don't follow through and finish them. The truth is that we will continue to fall short. The only way to avoid this outcome is to set aside a sufficient amount of time to finish a task, and devote ourselves entirely to it until that time is up. The only way I've found to avoid interruptions and dive headfirst into focused work is to shut out the world around me entirely. Reduce your hours worked per week from 16 to 8 when you're only doing half as much. If you're here, it's probably because you're interested in improving your time management. And I'd be happy to help. It's true that rearranging your calendar may help you better manage your time. If you're having trouble doing so, if you tend to sleep in and have trouble rousing yourself in the morning, trying shifting your sleep schedule to an earlier time may be beneficial. Early to bed, early to rise, makes you wise, healthy, and strong. So goes the old adage. If you're thinking about making some adjustments to your routine, I recommend including an early rise time. The advantages are numerous. Getting up early gives you a ton of peaceful time to do whatever you want with your day. Whether that's reading, exercising, checking email, or catching up on work. You should also limit your TV viewing. Sure, late-night Netflix sessions are awesome and all, but you can't have one every night. You need to adjust your sleeping schedule and start engaging in a routine that will give you energy in the morning and help you wind down at night. Instead of staying up late scrolling through TikTok, get some sleep. 9. Provides breathing room between commitments like meetings and work. Many people falsely believe that working around the clock is the best way to achieve success, leading them to experience burnout. The speed is nice, but this approach won't work forever. Your mind and body have a breaking point, at which point they will no longer fight. For this reason, it's crucial to schedule breaks between activities and gatherings, so that you can let your mind wander and relax. Just get out of the house and do something active like walking, yoga, listening to music, and dancing around, or even just taking a short nap. Please take some time off to rest your mind and body. To express gratitude, please accept the following. The end result will be increased productivity and prosperity for you. 10. Stay on top of your organization and focus on completing one project at a time. The typical American loses something every 2.5 days. It is estimated that over $2.70 billion is spent annually on the replacement of such items. Most people who lose something are also multitaskers, which makes the phenomenon all the more amusing. If you find yourself constantly losing things around the house and spending a lot of money replacing them, maybe it's time to cut back on multitasking. It's also important to replace used items back where they were originally found. Cleaning up your desk and writing up a management system document are both necessary office tasks. Don't forget Rule 11. Stick to the 80-20 principle. Did you know that your most successful actions only account for 20% of your total results? You can use this idea, which is commonly used in sales, to evaluate your tasks and zero in on what really matters. The emails do need to be answered, but they might not be as pressing as that presentation due next week. Pay attention to the latter. The goal here is to focus your efforts on the 20% of your work that makes the most difference. Don't try so hard to be perfect. Number 12. Someone once said, "Nobody's perfect," and she was right. You pick it up as you go along. Hannah Montana was the wise one there. The focus is on improving the past rather than planning for the future. In this situation, achievement is impossible. The number 13 should decline the offer. Simply count the number of times you've said yes to something. I can't remember how many times you wanted to say yes but knew deep down that you shouldn't. With regards to the number of times I've performed this action, achieving success requires prioritizing one's own needs and wants. Figure out how to decline politely. When you don't want to do something out of genuine dislike for your friend, everything will work out. It will be resolved by them. Unfortunately, you can't get back the time you could have put in at the office. Trying to be pleasant to everyone at the expense of your sanity is not a good idea. 14. Don't sit around and do nothing. Don't just sit there and fidget while waiting at the bus stop or train station. Time is something you can never get back. Use the time to catch up on some reading or an audiobook. Put your time here to good use by learning new skills that will help you in your job. You shouldn't throw away your time because it's so valuable. Numerous strategies exist for effective time administration. What I've learned so far is just the tip of the iceberg. Those who are having trouble keeping track of their time and finances should keep an eye out for the upcoming release of my time and money management course. I really hope that you find my advice useful and are inspired to put it into practice. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next time.